right, so come to the top of the mat, bring your feet together. Close your eyes and stand tall. Push down into your feet, but lift the arches of the feet at the same time. So it's like all the toes, the outer edges, and the heels push down and the arches rise. And then watch what happens to the rest of your body. That lift from the arches of the feet will continue to energetically lift all the way up the inseams of your legs, the pelvic floor, the lower belly. You can continue to lift your energy and support your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. I'm going to invite you to do that in every pose today. Not just as we stand here at attention, waiting for our first instructions, but to really feel this in your body. It's called Tadasana. It's the mountain pose. And I believe that this pose exists in every other pose we're going to do today. Even if one foot's in the air or your hands are on the floor, we have that ability to press down to rise up. So just note that in yourself. This is the yoga. It might seem like, come on, we're just standing here. When are we going to start moving? Could you energize your arms a little more? Could you feel the triceps hug onto the bones and extend the limbs? Could you reach through your fingers? And as you feel your fingers reaching down, could you get the crown of the head to lift up more? So in every pose, what we're looking for is expansion and space and awareness. Somewhere in our culture, we were taught deeper is better. Get twisted up in a pretzel, and then that means something. But in the whole scope of your life, to be able to stand tall and at full attention and awareness to all of your limbs and your feet on the ground and your breath moving through you, I think that's a way more practical approach. So let's see if we can hold on to this that we created and start to move a little. As you inhale, lift your arms. Just let them reach up. Keep the energy in the arms. Keep the feet pushing down and the fingers reaching high. And then exhale, bring your arms by your sides. Do it with full awareness. Not like you're trying to get somewhere, but that you actually are somewhere. Inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, arms down. So we sync up the breath and the movement. One last time. Inhale, arms reach. There's some beautiful yoga happening today. Exhale, arms come down. Adding on, inhale, arms reach. On this exhale, hinge at the hips and forward fold. Fold in. Just feel the sensations change, but notice the work is the same. Inhale, lift halfway, flatten the back, pull in the belly, and then exhale, fold. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen and lift. This is not about just coming up halfway, it's about pulling the chest forward, broadening the collarbones, engaging the core. Exhale, fold, head down low. And then last one, inhale, lift halfway, flatten the back, look forward. And then exhale, fold. Now, using that flat back, we rise all the way to standing. Push down into your feet, reach the arms all the way up. This is a big inhale. And then exhale, arms by your sides. You got it. Again, inhale, arms reach. Breathing and moving, that's what we're doing. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. This time, step your feet back, plank pose. The hands go down, both feet take a step back. You're in an upper push-up position. Gaze a little forward so the neck is long. Legs are really strong behind you, otherwise your arms and wrists have to work really hard here. Now, push the floor away from you so you push down to rise up. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So our limbs are active. Our muscles are hugging bones. We call that muscular energy. Gravity's pull is actually the organic energy. And we got to blend the two equally so everything becomes steady and effortless. Take one more breath. And then on your exhale, you can lower your knees or not. And then we take ourselves down slowly onto the belly. Inhale for cobra. It's a baby, sweet little back bend. Start there. Exhale, release your chest down. Make sure you stay on your hands. Inhale, cobra pose. Squeeze the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades back, broaden the collarbones. And then exhale, release. One more time. Keep the legs long behind you. Press the tops of your feet down. Now push down into your hip bones and curl the spine gently off the floor. And then exhale, release it back down. Tuck your toes. Let's go to downward facing dog. It's our first round of down dog. I think it's always a little bit stiff and it's always a little bit curious. Go ahead and bend your right knee and stretch deeper into the left leg and then switch to the other side. And you can paddle your feet and you can just kind of move your hips. And then let's press both legs back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, look at your hands and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Bring them together right there between your hands. And then lift halfway. Inhale, you know what to do. Flatten the back, pull in the belly. Exhale and fold. This time we rise all the way up. Inhale, arms reach. Take them up high, touch the palms, and then pull it right into the heart center. So that was a kind of broken down version of the Surya Namaskar A, which is a salute to the sun. That energy source that feeds all of life on this planet. Could we take a minute and just appreciate that light, that source? And then we do that little sequence as an offering. Take a deep breath, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale, halfway. Now go to plank, walk the feet back, and lower down, knees or not, you decide. Inhaling into the back bend, be gentle with your spine, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work, everyone. Let your head down as your hips rise high. If you want to paddle your feet because the hamstrings are tight, do it. I believe that if you straighten your legs and not worry about the heels down, you'll feel the pose move back into your legs, which are stronger than your arms. Let's take one more breath here. Push back a little. As you exhale, let's look forward and walk our feet to the top of the mat. Fellow friends that like to feel fit, right? Inhale, lengthen, exhale, and fold. With a flat back, we rise all the way to standing. Lift the head and chest, start to reach the arms all the way up, and then bring it right to heart center. One more time, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, let's forward fold. Kind of dive in, drop the head low. Lift halfway, lengthen, use the core. Now go to plank. Keep that belly engaged as you step gracefully back and lower, nice and strong, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra. The back bends look nice today. Exhale, down dog. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Remember that first moment when you got in your body, that push down to rise up. That wanting for space, not depth. And then we'll all together look at our hands. Start that journey forward. Walk your feet right up to the top. Lift halfway, inhale. And then fold deeply, exhale. All right, bend your knees, chair pose. Is there something off with the setting? There's like a hum, like maybe the bass again. Elbows are straight here. We reach up like we mean it so we can sit down low. Always finding that balance. Tailbone slightly down so that we don't have booty out and ribs out, poking in the front. Engage a little bit in the core and then sit a little lower. That's it. Not usually our favorite moment. But could you do it with a smile? Sit back in your heels a little more. I see a lot of heaviness in the toes. Now ground the toes so the whole thing feels solid. And then push through your feet. Let's come up. Take a little back bend at the top. A little extension, a little space in the front of the body. And then hook your thumbs together and neutralize. Arms up overhead. Good. Press down into your feet. See if you can lengthen up a little more out of the rib cage. And then take a little stretch to the right side. As your body bends right, can you move your hips left? Just make the expansion a little bit bigger. So it's not about how deep you go on the right, it's about how much space you create on the left. Good. Tip your ears back. Look up toward your thumbs. See if you can create a little more length in the spine. And then pull yourself together, have central support, and come back up. Let's switch the hooking of the thumbs and go over to the other side. Go left. Think about expanding the right side, not compressing the left. The hips might move a little to the right and the gaze goes up. And the breath is flowing free. That's it. And then when you're ready, you come back to center. Let's release our arms. Huh? Yeah. Could use a little volume though. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank. This time hold your plank pose. Yep, right there. Organize your body and then please roll onto your right side. You roll to the right so you're facing left. Lift that left arm up high. You can be on the inner and outer edges of your feet, or you can stack your feet. Push down to rise up here. See if you can feel that inner body work. Maybe the hips rise and the ribs rise. Lift the center of your body. Lift up, 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 up. Yeah, there you go. And then gracefully, eyes down, hand down. Let's lower slowly, just like we did before. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, come forward again, plank pose for the other side. Nice and simple. We organize ourselves in plank. You gotta organize, use your legs, give that little push down, then we roll to the left so we're facing right. And if the center feels heavy, it's because you're not lifting it, right? So you gotta pick up the middle. Yep, pick it up, because you can. There's strength in the core, there's strength in the pelvic floor. Lift it more, and then gracefully go back to plank and lower slowly. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet, just in case that was tough on the wrist. Let's bend our knees in a comfortable way and slide our hands under our feet. Go ahead, just slip the fingers, palms facing up, back toward the heels, and let your toes come near your wrist. The legs don't have to be straight here. Let your head down. I want you to feel the weight of your feet in your hands, so the back of your hand is on the mat. The crease of the wrist is bent in the opposite direction. So it's okay to bend the knees here. Some of you are fighting to get straight legs. Let it go. Just bend the knees and step into the hands. That's it. Then, carefully, we slide the hands out. We keep the knees bent, the belly button pulls in, the tailbone is going to tuck, and the chin is going to tuck, and you're going to roll up nice and slow. See if you can stack one vertebra at a time. Really pull all the muscles in. Again, muscular energy fighting against gravity. Lift the shoulders, roll them back. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Now walk it forward into plank. Organize, lift those kneecaps a little, and then lower yourself down slowly. Inhale, cobra pose, broadening the chest, strengthening the back muscles. And then release and go to downward facing dog. All right. We're going to take a look at the hands and step the right foot up to the right hand. Inhale as you rise, come on up into high crescent lunge. Let's keep that back heel off the mat for this moment. Good, I like what I see. Keep the back heel lifted. And then bend the back knee, pulling the knee forward and bending the toes a little more. That's it. I like it. Now tailbone down. Yeah. And squeeze a little on the outer hips and lean back. Yeah, you feel that? Yeah. All of your face has changed. Now that I have your attention, interlace your fingers, turn your hands inside out, and then bring the hands down in front of the chest. So it feels like you're pushing forward through your hands, but you're leaning back and drawing the tailbone down. So good. Now here comes the freedom. The arms are going to reach forward. You're going to straighten the back leg, and I want you to fold your body parallel to the ground. So release your fingers. Reach like you're Superman. Yep. And straighten that back leg. Lower the chest even more. Now the left arm is going to keep reaching forward and the right arm is going to sweep back. So now you've got 4 limbs doing 4 different things. Can they do it equally? When you're ready, the left hand roots down onto the mat so you can twist open to the right side. Let's make sure we lift that back knee. Lift that back hip. Twist from the belly. Everybody looks really good here. Take one more breath, gaze up toward your thumb, and then eyes down, hands down. Let's step back to plank. Lower nice and slow. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well, that wasn't so bad. Take a nice deep breath. Let's let out a little steam, just like a I did not hear that. Did you guys just have a really easy week? Was that just a really easy sequence? Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh it out. That's a little better. Look at your hands and then step the left foot up to the left hand. Let's come on up and find our balance in high crescent lunge. The back heel stays lifted. Sometimes by habit we put it down. The arms are up. And we're going to try to lift that back heel as much as we can and bend the right knee. Come down kind of low, but don't put it down. It takes a little bit of strength to hold that. And then find the integration. The knee kind of pulls forward, the tailbone pulls down, and the outer hip squeeze. Now I want you to interlace your fingers with the other index in front. Don't go to the go-to one, go to the odd one. Turn it inside out, and then bring it down in front of you. See if you can create that feeling of pushing forward but leaning back. Lean back, lean back, lean back. Some of you are already leaning forward. That's going to get really tiresome on that front leg. Yeah, lean back, lean back. Hands in front of you. So it's kind of like you're contracting in and pushing out. Ooh, right? You got that? Now we're going to start straightening the back leg. Lean forward, reach. Find the freedom. Find the space. Find the support of that back leg. And then right hand goes down, left arm circles up. Spinal twist. Touch down onto the mat. The right hand is down, so you're not in the air. That's it. And then turn from the waist. Turn from the chest. There you go. One more breath. And then the eyes come down, the hand comes down. You'll step back to plank. Take a moment in plank, organize, and then lower slowly. Make sure you're using your muscular energy and that work against gravity. Inhale for cobra, and then downward facing dog. It's so nice when you guys come up for cobra with a smile. I catch it. Yeah. All right, go ahead and lift your right leg up behind you. Should feel pretty good to pick that one up, but as you lift the right one, sink into your left heel. That's really good. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, step the right foot forward to the right hand. Then turn your left heel flat. It turns in toward the center line, and we rise up for warrior one. Facing forward, chest plate forward. Yep. Warrior one. There's a lot of warrior poses, so it's easy to mix them up. But chest plate is forward here, and we're grounding the feet. So see if you can have a sense of that Tadasana. Is the mountain pose present right now? Feel your feet push down to rise up. There's an energy in the arms. There's a lengthening in the torso, a support from the pelvic floor. So that first step that we took today, we want to try to maintain it. If we can maintain it in our practice, we might actually be able to maintain that as we walk through our day today. I think yoga is a very practical thing. It's not drama. It's learning how to be more human. Take another breath. Reach up and bend the front knee a little bit deeper. See if you can create a little more space. And then just simply flow it out. We'll do that same thing on the other side. Hands down, step back, lower. Cobra on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And then lift your left leg behind you. Not too high. We lift just so we can feel the sensation of one rising up while the right heel sinks down. Push equally through both of your arms. Take a deep breath. And on the exhale, left foot steps to the hands, right heel goes flat. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Try to move with your breath, just like we've been doing through all of those sun salutations. And then here, just see if you can find the subtle energy of Tadasana. Are you standing in both feet equally? That's always a challenge. We tend to favor the front leg in the lunge. But I tell you, it's amazing if you can lean back. If you can get the back leg be part of the pose, the front one won't scream at you so soon. The tailbone draws slightly down. The chest is high and broad. The arms are energized. So if you kind of have a soft elbow, see what it feels like just to reach. Just to reach a little bit. Straighten the arms. Look up past your thumbs. Yes. Take one more breath right there. And then take your flow. Hands down. Step back. Lower. We're going to build towards something here. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we have the sense of warrior on both sides. When we do it in the traditional Surya Namaskar B, we do it a little faster. It's only for one breath. So go ahead, step the right foot forward, turn the left foot flat. One inhale, rise up for warrior one. And then on the exhale, hands down, step back and lower. Interesting to move with the breath. Inhale here for cobra, and then exhale back to down dog. Yeah, did that feel fast? Let's try the other side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. Rise on one inhale. As soon as you're ready to exhale, bring it right back to the earth. Hands down, step back, and lower. Take a deep breath while you do your back bend and empty all of your air as you push back to down dog. All right, just take 2 breaths here. See if you can collect yourself. See if you can even out the nervous system, the respiratory system, the heart rate. Together we'll inhale and push back. And then exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Yep, lift halfway. Inhale, just like you know. Exhale and fold. And then bend your knees, chair pose. Oh, we're starting to sweat a little, huh? Okay, here it comes. Come to standing. And then hands to heart center. We're going to put it all together in one beautiful flow. Try to slow your breath down a little bit so you have time to make your transitions. If you need an extra breath somehow in between, just take it. Your breath is more important than your pose. When you're ready, inhale for chair. 1 breath. Exhale, forward fold. Fold right in. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Taking your inhale through the back bend. Now push back to down dog and come right into warrior. Right foot steps, left foot flat. We rise on one inhale for warrior one. And then exhale as soon as you're ready to come down. You step back and lower, right? Inhale through cobra. You got it. Exhale, touch down dog and come to warrior on the left side. It's one breath. Make the full expression of your pose and then bring your hands right back to the earth. Step back and lower. Yeah, the heat's coming now. Slow, controlled breathing. I know if you're here for the first time, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try. The magic of the yoga comes from breath and movement. So as long as you're moving and breathing, you're good. So we stay in down dog now. One more breath. Push back a little. Find that space. And then as you exhale, look at your hands. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Yep, lift halfway. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Finishing strong. Bend your knees. Chair pose. Wasn't so bad. Come to standing. Let your arms come down by your sides. You okay? You coming back next week? Yeah? Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Go to plank. We're making our way into a first long sequence. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, down dog. Take a big inhale and let out a little sound on the exhale. And then know we're going to have a little fun here. Right foot steps up. Left foot turns flat, warrior one. As soon as you come up, start looking for those little nuances, the subtleties of Tadasana. All right. We're going to see if we can keep the biceps near the ears. So that means the arms are up, right? And then we're going to lean forward again, but this time not all the way down, just the same line as your back leg. And because you've leaned forward a little bit, there's a little less pulling on the front of your left hip. So now, right hip back, left hip forward. Pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. Lean forward a little more. So imagine you're following this line all the way to your fingertips. Go a little more. Front ribs are in. Now stay where you are, but take the arms down and then behind you. Lift them higher than your back without clasping. Feel the muscular energy. Feel the elbows straightening. Feel the muscles toning onto the bone. Now clasp your hands together. Inhale, look up a little. And then exhale, fold humbly. Head down, look at your left foot. The arms can move a little bit away from your back. And we don't need to turn out to the left to see the foot. We need to drop the head down. The humble warrior bows humbly, right? That right hip is back, that left hip is forward, and we're not afraid to bend the front knee. The lower you go, the easier it is to articulate your hips. That's it. Keep working on those hips. Left hip forward, right hip back. Now I want you to push down to rise up. Take your time. Lift your head. Lift your chest. Start to release your arms. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, go right to down dog. Hands down. Take a big step back and say it. Now you're ready to say it. Now you're ready to make noise. That's it. Come forward into plank pose. Lower yourself down slowly. Inhale, take a gentle cobra. And then right back into downward facing dog. All right. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat. It's warrior one. So think about the integrity of warrior. The arms are up. The arms are pretty fierce here. I see a lot of this. Like, are you in it? Get the back leg straight, get the front knee bent so you have a good solid base. The back leg, some of us have a bent back knee and bent elbows, right? So maybe we have to change our stance. Maybe we need to widen our feet a little bit or lengthen the stance or make the stance shorter. See if you can find the place where you stand like you're in Tadasana. Both feet grounded. Now the front knee is going to bend. You're going to lift the chest more and reach with your fingers. Yes, look up at your hands. Now we're going to start to fold just about 45 degrees, right? Just so you're on a diagonal with the back legs. Don't be afraid to bend that front knee. It's not how much the chest comes down. Bend the front knee more and then lift your chest a little higher. Pull the front ribs in so that the core is engaged and the belly isn't leaning on the thigh. Yeah, I like what I see here. Now, left hip back, right hip forward. Yep, square it off. Now hold that and start to take the arms down and behind you. You can clasp the hands, but lift them a little bit away from your body. Now we want to feel a little squeeze on the outer hips so that there's a little bit of stability as you start to fold into your humble warrior. Let the head bow. As you look toward the back of your mat, you look at the arch of the back foot. Keep the back leg straight. Keep that arch lifted so the inner arch all the way up to the knee is supported. One more time, left hip back, right hip forward. From there, we start to rise. Inhale, head up, chest up, arms reach. Yep. When you're ready, take your flow. You can go right to down dog and say, hell no, more yes, I am not doing another one. Or you take a full vinyasa with your back bend and your down dog. All right. Right foot steps up. Stay on your left toes. High crescent lunge, the arms sweep up. Even here, could you find Tadasana? Challenging because you're on the toes of the back foot, but are all 5 of those toes grounded? Is the back leg working? I'm going to challenge you now. Straighten the right knee. Stay on your toes. Just find your balance there. Can you find Tadasana? Can you pull up and in from the center? Can you enliven the arms? Can the chest be forward? Yeah, I like that. Now bend the knee, come back into your high crescent. Bring your hands into prayer position and then come to warrior 3. When you're balancing on one leg, can we get both legs to feel equally that they're working? Flex the back foot so it feels like you're standing on it. Pull the left toes up toward the knee. Create a little flexion in the ankle. Not the standing leg, the one that's floating behind you needs to be active. Yes. Now try both arms forward. We don't hold on for dear life. We actually work from the inside. Yeah. Now slowly and gracefully bring your feet together, reach your arms to the sky. Not bad at all. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Slow is the new challenging, right? Inhale, lengthen. Go to plank and lower. Slow is the new strong. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps up, stay on your right toes. Come on up, chest plate forward. So yeah, the back heel is lifted. All 5 toes on that back foot are important. Keep the back leg as straight as you can make it, and then challenge yourself. What happens when the left knee straightens? The front leg. Woo, both legs straight and you're on your toes of the back foot. Where does stability come from? It starts in the feet, but it comes from the pelvic floor. It comes from the lower belly. It comes from how we hold our spine and our pelvis, right? It's not going to come from knees turning in. It's going to come from a hug at the hips, an integration of the whole core. Go ahead, bend the front knee again. Come in a little deeper this time. Bring your hands to heart, and then find your balance on the left leg. Float the right leg behind you. I want the back foot in the air to feel just like the one on the ground, so flex the foot. Feel the skin on the sole of your foot stretch a little. It'll make your brain think that you're standing on it. Arms reach forward. Beware of explosive movements because they sometimes knock you off your center. And then with some grace, slowly, feet together, arms reach. And as you exhale, just take the arms down. Inhale, both arms up. Let's soften the knees, bring the hands to the heart, and then take your left leg and just take a big step out to the side. So you're facing the long edge of your mat. The right foot's going to stay exactly as it is. Keep the right foot forward. So the right foot is still facing the front edge of the mat. Yep, warrior two. Big, long, wide stance, arms out. Now I know this does not resemble Tadasana pretty much in any way, shape, or form, except for energetically. Can you feel it? Ground your feet, center yourself, lift your head up. Is the spine tall? Is it straight or is it leaning? When we're in Tadasana, we're not like this, right? Some of us are like this. So can we find a place where the central channel is straight up and down, tailbone slightly down, chest lifts, armpits buoyant, fingers reaching, muscles hugging bones. Good. Reverse your warrior. Left arm down, right arm up. See if we can make that about opening up the right side instead of about squishing the left side. Tip the ears back a little and look up at your thumb. Now with all of that upward energy and looking up, let's bend the right knee. So there's a down and an up, and we find that balance. You look amazing. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Say it. Now, really gently, you got to pay attention to the hips here, because we have a tendency, if we stay tight here, like if we don't have a little bit of lateral movement side to side, if we stay super tight here, then we bend the spine when we do triangle, and one side gets compressed and the other one gets overstretched. So watch what happens if we move our hips a little, then the torso can stay long on both sides and we can come into triangle. Right arm down, left arm up to the sky. Sometimes our hips need to squeeze and have integration, and sometimes they need freedom. Can we find the balance? Now I see a lot of you reaching a little further than you need to. I would rather you pull the head back and draw the tailbone down than touch the floor and be out in front of the pose. So come up onto your shin. Let your hand really rest on your shin. Draw the tailbone down and draw your head back. Yeah, you feel the difference? Now from there, you might be able to go back in where you were. Yeah. We love when we awaken something in the body and we get out of habit. Let's push down into our feet, pull in the pelvic floor, and then come back to warrior two. Bend that front knee. Nicely done. Now, right hand is going to go inside the right foot. Now you might not like this, but left hand is going to go right next to the right hand. And we're going to stay. Yeah. Ground your feet. Let your head start to bow down. Back heel is flat. There's fatigue probably starting to set in. Just see if you can manage it so that you have equal effort everywhere. Don't let one body part bear the brunt of this work. Sometimes the longer holds are a little confrontational. Listen to what's going on in your inner dialogue. Now, I want you to bend that right knee a little deeper, and I want you to try to tuck your right shoulder under your right knee. And then bring the right hand under, but to the outside of your right foot. Going in a little deeper. Back heel is still flat. Ooh, try not to slide. Yeah. Now, only an option. If you're just getting by where you are, certainly don't take this. But if you feel like you want just a little more, try to grab your right ankle with both hands. Both hands. That means you got to hold yourself together. I know I'm starting to lose you. Take another breath. As you exhale, put your hands back down. Let's pivot up onto the left toes. Pick up that back heel. Ah. And then step into plank. Hold. Take a deep breath. Organize yourself. And then lower, nice and slow. No doubt that something happened there. Inhale for cobra, gently through your spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. So how many of us had a bad thought about ourselves in that pose? Can you be honest? Raise your hand. How many of you had a bad thought about me in that pose? Yeah. Right? So self-beat or projection, right? We're human. Let's go ahead and look at our hands. Walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, unfold. Bend your knees, chair pose, one breath. We like chair now. And then come all the way up. Take a little back bend, stretch the body, and then bring your hands to your heart. Let's take a Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach both arms. Exhale, forward fold. Just move through it. Let's move it out of the body, whatever that attitude was. Inhale, lengthen. Go to plank and lower. Breathing, moving. This is where we process that energy and we let it go. Cobra on the in-breath. And pressing back to that good old familiar down dog on the out-breath. Yeah. All right, so we know what's coming. Walk it to the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen, and then fold. With a big inhale, rise with a flat back. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart, soften your knees. This time the right leg is going to take that big step toward the back of the mat, and you'll turn and face the long edge to the right side for Warrior Two. That means the left toes are pointing to the forward edge of the mat. The legs are really nice and wide. And we bend the front knee. Take a moment here. Think about Tadasana. Hold your head up. Yeah. There's something really beautiful about holding the crown over the tail. Right? So sometimes we stick the tailbone out because we want to soften the creases of the groins, especially in a pose like this. So we try to gently encourage the tailbone down to create a little more length in the front. We're not going to tuck it under or jam it under. That would be weird, right? But we want to just try to like open, create a little space, create a little balance. Let's reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Equal respect for both sides of the waistline. Enjoy the stretch, but don't compress. Keep lifting under that right armpit a little bit. Don't compress it into the body, but create a little bit of space under there. Let's look up at our fingers, and as we take all of that energy up and reach up, let's bend that left knee. Can we straighten that arm? So we're not in ballet class, right? We're in yoga class. We're a warrior, right? Reach. Yep, and then return to Warrior Two. Yeah, pretty good. Let's straighten the front leg and just say it. Yeah. Now think about it. If this stays stiff, then we have to bend the spine. Kind of weird, right? If you let your hips go a little bit to the right and you get a little bit of a crease in the front of the left hip, then you can go both sides of the waist long into triangle pose. It's not how deep you go, it's how much space you can create here. Keep the chest long, keep the tailbone in neutral, keep the head in line with the tail. Arms reaching in both directions, and breathe. With time, the pose evolves. Both legs are straight. The muscular energy of the legs is palpable here. The way the quadriceps hug the bones, that keeps your stability. Looks really good. I bet you could slide the left hand a tiny bit lower without losing the alignment, but just creating a little more space. Soft tissue is good that way. It cooperates. That's it. Now we've got to push down to rise up. Push into the feet, come on up nice and tall. Bend the front knee again. So we're in Warrior Two, back to something familiar. The front knee should be turned out slightly. The toes are in a straight line forward. The knee tries to move toward the middle toe or the pinky toe. So it doesn't sometimes that big toe pushes down and the knee pushes in, right? We want to make sure we're opening the front of the hip. So we're trying to open just a little bit. And then left hand goes inside the left foot. It's called side angle pose, Parsvakonasana, but we're not going to stay there. We're going to put the right hand down next to the left hand and just humble. Let the head go. Now, if you want to say nasty things about me here, go for it. But it's not me. Turn that back heel flat. What happened? Some of you picked up the back foot. It can turn in slightly and down. Put the heel down. Put the foot flat. So heel here. No, not your toes. Toes stay here. Yes, there you go. Now, if you look at the back foot, you could lift the arch. You could feel the support up the inseam of the leg. You could try bending a little bit deeper into the left knee and then tuck the left shoulder under. That might be enough. Maybe you grab the ankle with both hands. You see what is self-sustaining. You see where you meet your edge. Allow it to be confrontational. This is what we call a charge energetically in the practice. You get a charge, and then I promise you get a relief. And I ask this of you because I love you. Yes. And I also ask that you honor yourself. If it's too much, you back off. Take one more breath where you are. And release your hands. And then just lift the back heel. As you pivot that back heel up, you'll be able to step back for plank. Neutralize, organize, and then lower yourself down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, walk your hands back to your feet. Soften the knees. Let's pull in the belly button. We'll tuck the tailbone and the chin and just roll up nice and slow. Lift the shoulders, roll them back. Stand for a moment in Tadasana. This version of Tadasana is sometimes referred to as Samastitihi, which means just equal standing. The feet are a little bit apart. Your arms by your sides. See if you can find that alignment. Feel what is steady and effortless. Are you heavy in your toes? Are you heavy in your heels? Or can you be both? Are your arms and your hands part of this moment, or are they just hanging there? As your fingertips pull gently down, can you lift the crown of your head a little higher? You can feel it. There's a little pull across the collarbones. See if you can get the upper back to broaden. Feet on the ground, breath flowing through you, fully present and aware in your body. Being able to articulate the subtle things. I promise you, if your posture looks more like this, you'll feel better as you navigate your life. There's a lift from the pelvic floor. There's a support on the inside that doesn't take a lot of effort. It takes consciousness. That's what yoga's trying to teach us, consciousness over effort. Becoming aware of ourselves and how we present in the world. Imagine if all of us kept this facial expression as we went through the day. Maybe even a smile might be nice. Watch how it lights your moment up, and it actually lights up the whole park. Let's take one more breath right where we are. Exhale it all out with a sigh. Just feel the energy melt down. And then inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale, just look forward. And then walk it out into plank. Let's flip over the right toes and put the knee down under the hip. Flip over the right toes, put the knee down, and then flip over the left, put the knee down. Tabletop. No cross. Nothing complicated. Tabletop pose. Now I want you to kind of start circling around. Go forward, then go right, then go back, then go left. And you can keep circling to the right, and then you can kind of make that a little bit looser. Like let the head move, let the shoulders move, let all the ribs kind of stretch and move. Yeah, you can bend your elbows a little bit, lean in, and then slow it down and change direction. Fluidity, right? We've been quite linear through the practice. Everybody's down on her level, so she thinks it's time to play. All right, find center and take child's pose. She'll get it. Child's pose. Everybody rest your head. It's okay, she'll settle, she'll settle. Okay. Press your hands into the mat and push back so your tailbone curls toward your heels. Just feel how good that feels. And then when you're ready, I knew she would get it. Let's come on up. Swing our feet around in front. We're going to lean back and keep the spine tall and lift the feet off the ground. Right, as soon as we were on all fours, she was like all in, but as soon as we put our heads down, she got it. Yeah, they get it quicker than we do. Boat pose. Now this is an interesting one. Can you find Tadasana here? What's happening in your spine? I think none of your Tadasanas kind of look like this, right? So this is what your Tadasana would look like. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this, right? Chest broad. A little support from the inside. Reach your arms forward. Get a little energy in the arms. Let the muscles hug the bones. Feel your fingertips active. Knees can be bent or straight, but pick them up off the ground. Bring your feet together. As your feet touch, can you lift the chest even more? That's it. Don't hold your breath. When we're working hard, that's when our body needs the breath the most. Again, yoga, so practical. One more breath here, and then gracefully, carefully, lightly put your feet down. Keep your knees bent and roll yourself down on your back. Keep using the core. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Do it one vertebra at a time. We'll pull the right knee into the belly. Give it a little squeeze. And then twist the right knee over to the left side as you reach out with your right arm. That's it. Begin to soften. Start letting go of the effort. That whole concept of consciousness over effort. It's super sweet to start letting go of the physical actions and soften. And as softly as you can, pull it back to the center. Switch your legs. Let the right one down, pull the left one in. And then twist over to the other side. Let the hips move all the way around. Let there be a really gentle rotation in your spine, but no muscular effort. You're not trying to go further. The ground and the mat beneath you will support you so you can let go and soften your muscles. Even the jaw, the lips, the eyes, they can begin to soften here. It's hard to believe that just a few minutes ago we were in that charge, right? Just a few minutes ago we were using everything we've got and we were in this crazy dialogue of struggle and challenge, and here we lay completely peaceful. That's a skill. That's a choice. Life is going to challenge you. You're going to turn yourself inside out sometimes. But imagine if you realize the skill of finding this just a few moments after that process of letting go. And it happens over and over. Charge, release, charge, release. Go ahead, roll onto your back, pull both knees into your belly. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then release your feet back down onto the mat. Let's slide our legs straight out. Let your arms go by your sides, and here we find ourselves once again in Tadasana. Everything aligned and at ease. So the inner body, energetic work can let go. We no longer have to squeeze the pelvic floor or align the crown and the tail. It's already there. What can you let go of here? What part of you can you soften? Just let the mat have you. She will hold you. She has an incredible way of taking all that no longer serves us. But only if you're willing to give it up. Slowly begin to bring the breath just in and out of the body. Let the breath be the first part of your awakening. The breath will inspire you to want to move a little. So maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then the rest is up to you. However you want to stretch and move and breathe. I've been directing you for an hour. I think it's good to turn over the reins. You take autonomy over your body. You come to sit, and you sit in a way that reflects your practice or the way you want to transition into your day. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. And know that even this is an act of consciousness over effort. It's just simple, basic alignment. It's that feeling of pushing down to rise up. Go ahead, push into your feet. What happens to the rest of you? Yeah. We can take our yoga off the mat. And I promise it will serve you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We continue to grow and we continue to hone that raising of our consciousness and our awareness. We use our body as a tool because it helps us. We have it with us all the time. But we can use it on the body, we can use it in our thoughts. We can use it with our emotions. It's an incredible practice that's been passed down through humanity for thousands of years. And here it is, alive and well, in the middle of Boca Raton, Florida, right? It came from the other side of the planet. It's pretty amazing. Let's use it well. Let's honor it. Not turn it into something that it's not. We'll close the practice with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. So take a deep breath with me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om Peace, Peace, perfect peace. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and to that freedom for all. May we all sentient beings, may we know that feeling of peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so, so much for being so dedicated to yourself and to your community. So much love for all of you. Thank you for being here week after week after week. Just means so much. I have passes. If anyone has never been to my studio, please come as my guest. My studio is Yoga Journey. My name is Leslie Glickman. I have passes to invite you to be my guest. I also have the sign-in sheets that the city asks us to sign. It's a waiver form, and I know most of you did not sign because I didn't have them out when we started. But I do ask you to come forward and sign them now. And the tables in the back, all of the orange tables and chairs, if you wouldn't mind lending a hand, if each of us just pick up one chair, it'll be done in 2 minutes instead of one or two of us staying at the end and having to put everything back. We have to clear it when we get here, so they ask us to put it away. So like if you have a minute, you come up. You can sign the email list if you want to stay in touch with me about what is happening in the community other than just the Saturday practice. Tomorrow we have a fundraiser at the studio in the afternoon. If MS is an organization, the MS Society touches your heart in any way, a fundraiser for the MS Society is happening tomorrow afternoon in studio. And what else is happening? We had a lot going on yesterday. I think that's it. Just regular schedule of classes. Come and be my guest. Come sign in, help with the chairs. Come and get a hug. Right? How are you? Good. Yes. You're welcome. Please come. We've been in Boca for 10 years, but we just moved into a new location, and so we've grown like 3 times the size. It's brand new, it's fresh and clean. So yeah, come and see. We've only been there since January, so yeah. Hi, how are you? Yeah, yeah. Come in and check it out. It'd be my pleasure. Yeah, and you look online at the schedule, you'll find a class that works for you. And I'm there Wednesday nights and Tuesday, Thursday mornings, but all of the teachers are great. So Wednesday at 6 p.m. Yeah. But there's classes every day at like 9:15, 11, 12:30. We have 6 o'clock. We have 7:30 at night. We have some 7 a.m. So we have things like all over the schedule.
I'm here just for 2 weeks, but I'm doing fasting for 30 days.
Okay.
It's difficult. We're not drinking water from
Yeah, so be careful. Maybe you do a yin class, not a vinyasa.
morning one.
A morning, but do yin.